And thank you for joining us for 12 News at 6. I'm Byron Brown.
And I'm Melanie Christopher. We'll get to all the news after your first forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Ken Tsao.
All right, and here's a look from downtown Jackson. Now, the camera's looking back out to the west. It looks sunny out there, but if you look really closely, you see some rain droplets out there, and that's because we got a shower coming in from Rankin County. It's moving from east to west, so it's coming in behind the camera, moving through downtown Jackson. The streets are actually wet right there. It's just a brief shower. It's going to be done in just a few minutes, and it missed the airport. So out at the airport, no rain. It's still hot, and it's still humid. The heat index right now is 101 degrees. Now, we are expecting temperatures to drop through the 80s this evening. We're going to see clear skies overnight. Those temperatures will be in the mid-70s first thing in the morning. So the heat and humidity is still going to be around right through the weekend, although heat advisories may not be needed starting tomorrow through the weekend. But then next week, this is going to be our weather. Unfortunately, we've got a strong tropical wave out there. It's got an 80% chance of developing, and here's where our computer models think it's going to go. It could clip the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, but then after that, it's going to move into the warm waters of the Gulf, and it could go anywhere from Texas all the way back over to Florida. Of course, that puts Mississippi under the gun as well. We'll have more information about this and what else is in the tropics coming up in the full forecast. It's coming up in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Ken. 3,000 plus cases yet again. Just a few hours ago, the state reported 3,385 new cases of the coronavirus in Mississippi, along with 22 additional deaths. And this brings the state's total number of cases to 420,174 and more than 8,000 deaths.
COVID in children is topping the list of concerns at the State Department of Health. The Mississippi State Department of Health reporting its 6th pediatric death in a child under 5 years old today. We know that pediatric admissions are on the rise due to the Delta variant. As reported, this surge of COVID-19 is impacting the younger generation. At last check, 3 children were on ventilators and 7 in the ICU. State epidemiologist Dr. Paul Byers says although most children do recover from COVID, he encourages every eligible child to get the vaccine.
And now to Emmett County, where some parents are frustrated about the response to the school district to their rise in COVID-19 cases. They are calling for a virtual option for students and better communication from the district. 12 News' Anthony Howard is now live in Emmett County to tell us how the district is keeping students safe this school year. Anthony.
Well, Byron, here in the Mid-County at the school district's headquarters right here, an impromptu meeting just wrapped up between parents and the superintendent. And the parents feel that the superintendent is not doing enough to protect students, and they would like to see a virtual option offered here as well. Now, there are only 3 schools in the district serving about 900 students enrolled in the district. According to the numbers, an estimated 30 students, teachers, and staff tested positive or were quarantined last week. But some parents question those numbers and believe they've been underreported and that not enough is being done to protect the students.
I screenshot it, and it's showing me elementary 1 to 5, and I know goodness well it's more than 1 to 5 students that been with COVID or positive for COVID. And my understanding is that if he gonna say if you come in contact with somebody that been positive, you don't have to quarantine. That's a lie. That's a lie. You should have to quarantine.
Sitting and talking to someone and tell them what we're doing, because I think that's important. Because if you're getting it from me, then you know you're getting accurate information. If you're getting it from our principals, you're getting accurate information. We are going to do anything and everything we can to protect kids and teach kids.
The Mid-County School Superintendent says the district is following the Mississippi State Department guidelines. And he says the school are taking extra precaution to make sure students are safe and having a quality, effective 2021-2022 school year. Live in the Mid-County, Anthony Howard, 12 News.
Anthony, thank you. That brings us to our 12 News Connect question. Are you confident in the way your school district is handling COVID-19? Yes or no? It's easy to vote. Just go to our website, wjtv.com/connect, or you can vote right on the homepage. We're focused on what you think, and we are focused on you.
Jackson Public Schools is now offering virtual learning. Students in pre-K through 6th grade are eligible to take classes online. Superintendent Dr. Eric Green says it's important to protect students too young to be vaccinated, and students who attend virtual are not eligible for field trips or extracurricular activities.
Starting tomorrow, Laurel High School will transition to virtual learning due to an increase in COVID-19 cases. This is all according to district leaders that students must log into Canvas for each of their classes. Teachers will share further information about the virtual requirements for the school year. Students are expected to return to in-person learning on September 9th. Officials say all other schools in the Laurel School District will remain traditional.
Well, tonight, some members of Terry High School's football team are under quarantine, but they say that the school isn't doing enough to help them learn at home.
And that's just one of the concerns. 12 News' Tao Ta talked with students and parents and tried to get answers from the district. Tao?
Well, concerned parents with the football team say they were notified of the COVID-19 case at Terry High School yesterday. Now, the date of exposure, according to the letter obtained, was last Friday. Parents and students at Terry High School are calling for a better response from the district after members of the football team ended up on quarantine.
Not only are we quarantined at home, but the fact is that we can't get our work. And I mean, the school district is supposed to be for education and safety. The students are packed by 35 to a room, less than 3 feet apart. So that's two things that they failed to do, was education and safety.
According to the Mississippi State Department of Health, for schools, 3 cases in one group is considered an outbreak. The case at Terry High involved a case.
Most of them hadn't been exposed when the coaches was exposed, and most of them are back at school today.
Parents I spoke with say there's not enough guidance, and one student says there are safety concerns.
The students are packed by 35 to a room, less than 3 feet apart.
For student athletes such as Xavier Schott, who's taking on AP classes, he's aiming to end his senior year strong.
You get here last year and you give it all you got through the summer just to be shut down 1 week before, like a couple of days before opening week. It's like, what can we do?
12 News has reached out to the Hinds County Central office numerous times today and have yet to hear back.
We just want Terry High School to have the same opportunity that Clinton High School has, that Brandon High School has, that Ridgeland High School has, that Madison High School has.
Principal at Terry High School, Matthew Scott, said the high school level does not have a comment. Now, those in close contact with the exposed COVID-19 case are to remain in quarantine until September 4th. Now, the district has not specified who that person with COVID-19 was.
Cal, thank you. Total vaccinations across Mississippi are on the rise for the 7th straight week. Vaccinations are the highest they've been since April. That's according to the Mississippi State Department of Health. As of Tuesday, about 1,125,877 people have been fully vaccinated. State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs says we still have a long way to go, but that we will see the benefits of the increased vaccinations soon. Coming up next on 12 News, tropical weather could be threatening our area. We look at the places that have already dealt with dangerous weather this year. Let's send it over to Ken.
Right, for the 4th day in a row, the high temperature in Jackson, 96 degrees, but I do think temperatures will begin to go down tomorrow. Next week, we could be dealing with some of that tropical weather. We'll track those storms out there. Coming up next, you're watching 12 News.
All right, Ken, we are watching it. The potential storm in the Gulf is just part of a year that's already seen a lot of dangerous weather. 12 News' Jalen Level looks at some places still dealing with the impact while making preparations in case tropical weather heads this way.
I was actually sitting in my truck and watching the trees dangle, just dangling.
Robin Carter's words after watching the effects from the tornado that ruptured her community just a few months ago.
Anything at this point can happen. You know, we're seeing so much, anything can happen.
And just a few days, a tropical storm or a hurricane could develop in the Gulf.
This is a perfect time when it's kind of quiet for people to prepare, to make sure that they have points of contact.
The National Weather Center says the landfall could happen anywhere from Texas to Mississippi. While preparation is key, the Red Cross shared how it plans to weather the potential storm ahead.
Mr. Hurricane season, we are working with local officials, working with government partners, working with churches and local communities to make sure that we have shelter agreements.
The impact of the storm could affect people like 71-year-old Roosevelt Hackett. He lives by himself. He told us he plans to shelter in place and tell his neighbors,
get in a closed place, somewhere sit down and be quiet.
Experts say everyone should be weather aware Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Carter says she's leaving nothing to chance.
Stop saying that it's not going to hit you and be prepared.
The potential storm could be named Ida or Julian. And while the forecast could change over the next several days, making your safety a top priority is the most important thing that will develop. Jalen Level, 12 News.
All right, thank you, Jalen. Now here's a look at what's coming up tonight on News Nation.
Tonight, the list of penalties grows for the unvaccinated. Companies hiking healthcare rates. Hospitals are making those with the vaccine a priority. So will these measures actually convince people to get the shot? That's coming up on Balance tonight, followed by News Nation Prime. Now here's a look at tonight's Banfield.
Thanks. Tonight on Banfield, get the shot or go back to prison, how judges are using the vaccine against criminals, plus the heated fight over what to do with refugees. That's coming up on Banfield.
And here's a look at where you can find News Nation on your TV provider. You can also go to newsnationnow.com and then click on the channel finder. Time now for sports. Here's Haley Hunter.
All right, thanks, Byron. Well, Jackson State is just a week and a half away from the team's season opener against Florida A&M. Head coach Deion Sanders filled me in on today where he feels the team is at this fall. New season, new practice field, new players, new starting quarterback. A lot has changed, and Coach Brime says that's a good thing. We'll hear from him next.